say that is the most spectacular sweetener that there is on the market. I am also the founder of SARE Nutritional Therapy, which SARE stands for Sugar Addiction is Real Nutritional Therapy, and that is actually, it spells out SAIRNT. So that's what it spells out, and I pronounce that Sarent. So I'm a saint, but hey, maybe this work that I'm doing, but it is SARE Nutritional Therapy. And you can catch all the live broadcasts as we go live. You can catch us on here on the HAPS broadcast at SAIRNT. You can catch us at on YouTube at SAIRNT, Facebook at SAIRNT. Also, we go live on Instagram at Some Sweet Foods and Twitter at Some Sweet Foods, and also on Facebook at Some Sweet Foods as well. So, and you can get the podcast on all of your favorite, wherever you listen to your podcast at, whatever podcast um, application or stream service that you listen to, we're there. Yeah. So thank you all for joining and hanging in there with me. Just let me know where you are watching from, where you're listening from. Just go ahead and drop something in the chat there for me. I apologize coming on late. Let me tell you, if I wanted to have a rant, I did one of those one time and then I took it back down. Or I tried to remove it in some spaces later on after I calmed down, because when you're upset, you really want to rant. You want, who else out there is experiencing this stuff that I'm going through? You kind of want to know that, and you know, misery loves company, they say, right? So sometimes when you're miserable, you want to share that with others, and I seem to do pretty good, you know. But I don't want to be ranting all the time. But you know, and when I went out to, but just being out and about, it's kind of difficult sometimes. This rush hour traffic is like maddening, and so on and so forth. And then that's exactly when the computer wants to act up on days when it seems like I'm already okay. I'm running. I'm going as fast as I can. Going as fast as I can. And that seems like the day when everything wants to like slow down. And I'm like, I'm not trying to slow down. I need to rush because I gotta get out here. I gotta get to my people and talk to my people. But because I put myself on this schedule. Nobody else put me on this schedule, because I'm kind of regimented that way, and like need to have a schedule and something to stick to. I did go to public school. They kind of train you. You're kind of trained that way when you go to public school. When the bell rings, you know what to do when the bell rings, right? You get up when your alarm clock goes off in the morning. You got to get up, get ready for school. When you go to school, then you get there and the bell rings. School's in session. At a certain time the bell rings. It's time for something else. The bell rings, you switch classes as you get up through the grade levels. The bell rings, it's recess time. Rings, it's lunchtime. The bell rings, lunch is over. The bell rings, recess is over. you know Rings again, class time. Switch classes again. Rings for the final time. You can go home. You guys are free. you know so we kind of get used to schedules and routines and things like that. So I put myself on this schedule. Nobody else. I did it to myself. I like to try and be disciplined and show up here for you all at 6:30. I don't know who's out there waiting, but I appreciate you for waiting and for tuning in to be here with me, for coming and joining me at 6:30 on these days. So just little bit of health news and information is what I want to go over today. Now, I don't know if you've heard this, and I'm going to try and pull this note up here, that there's an urgent meat recall. So let me just pop that open here for you all to share with you all. So just in case you haven't heard it, and this will be the place that you hear it, I said I need to tell my people this, because at first, I looked at it and I was like, oh, well, maybe it's not really that bad, but they say it's an urgent meat recall. 234 pounds were sold. So Check your fridge now is what this is saying. So what are they having the recall on? They're saying it's a massive recall that involves nearly 235,000 pounds of pork products. So while the let's see, it's 235,000 pounds of pork products. And so there's some examples here how to identify items subject to the meat recall. So it looks like there's some numbers here. Let me see if this is a comprehensive list here. Um, so the pork products at issue come from Alexander and Hornung, which is a part of Purdue Premium Meat Company, and they have several different branding packages, but specific items include Welshire wood smoked ham products, Alexander and Hornung ham products, Food Club sliced ham, Garrett Valley Farms ham products, uh, Buther Brothers ham products, Five Star brand pepperoni, and Big Y bone in hickory smoked ham steak. So they say here there's an exhaustive list here. So that the products subject to the meat recall have a sell by date that falls somewhere between December 15th, 2021 and May 4th, 2022. Again, anyone with these products should dispose of them as quickly as possible. Yeah, dispose of them by taking them back to the store and getting your money back. Don't just throw them in the trash. Take them back to the store and get your money back. Oops, did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. um, so let's see here. I'm going to try and see if I can pull up the exhaustive list, because I just want to make sure that you all have this information. And it's and it contains listeria. I believe that's what they're saying. So listeria can cause a wide range of worrisome symptoms. For example, listeria in healthy adults can cause symptoms like stomach pain, nausea, headache, confusion, fever, and diarrhea. Symptoms are typically more grave for young children and the elderly and immunocompromised individuals. A listeria infection in pregnant women can cause several complications. In some cases, it can lead to miscarriage and stillbirth. So, the consumers with questions about the meat recall can call Alexander Hornig's consumer hotline, and that number is 866-866-3703. And consumers can also email Alexander Horung. Yeah, I guess that. Well, I don't know how they spelled that. But yeah, so to date, there's been no reports of anything with that. But the exhaustive list, I'm sure you can go to their website and you can get an exhaustive list of everything that is required. It looks like it's about 17 products. I think we probably mentioned most of them previously, but basically it's ham products, anything coming from that company. All right, just wanted to share that with you all. Okay. Oh yeah, and remember we had talked about we're trying to get. I'm trying to help them get up to 30,000 signatures for the consumer reports to issue out to the FDA, so they'll do more strict standards testing on herbs and spices, and even the spinach that was coming up with those heavy metals and toxins in them. So yeah. So, but also I wanted to remind you all to, if you don't know what your risk is for type 2 diabetes, or if you want to know if you're pre-diabetic or you think that you might be, also head over to the American Diabetes Association. They do have a quiz over there that you can take. So that's with that. Enough with the housekeeping. My guest for tomorrow will not be joining me. There was something that came up, and so we have rescheduled that. All right. So on to today's broadcast. So, what happened to my tab? What happened to it? Okay, so let me get that off. Maybe I popped it up because I know I wasn't talking about the urgent recall. But anyway, so I wanted to share with us today about, well, we'll start here. I was looking and there was this food grade system. Have I mentioned that to you all before? About this food grading system? So I got a couple of different things here. Open in this tab. So yeah, so I was looking earlier this week and I saw this really interesting article, and I started to dig into it and find out more about it because I'd kind of heard a little bit about it before, but I thought, wow, this would be really interesting to share with people. So there's this list that grades foods, and I'm trying to find it here. There's a list that grades foods that says, well, if you eat certain foods, it will add like it will add to your life, and certain foods will take away from your life. And I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. So they call it like foods that will add to your life and foods that will rob your life. So there's this list. And at first, when I looked at it, I thought, wow, this is really cool, you know. So they were going over if you eat these foods, it will rob so it will rob time off of your life, so they say. So it says hot dogs, a single hot dog could chop 36 minutes off your life. And this is talking about like your healthy life. So a hot dog could rob 36 minutes off of your life. And I thought, wow, wow, they're really putting all that on hot dogs, but okay. So let's go with it. So the average hot dog has 61 grams, and my computer's freezing, has 61 grams of processed meat. Okay, it's freezing. Am I frozen? I mean, I can't tell. I would hope I'm not. Okay. So yeah, so the hot dog can shorten your life. So an average hot dog has, it's still not moving. Okay. So the scores are called HENI scores. So HENI scores. And so they discovered that foods with better HENI scores contribute to disease-free minutes lived. And foods with higher HENI scores contribute to shortening your life, or your healthy life is what they're calling it. So again, they say the hot dog you will experience 36 minutes of decline in lifespan. And so that was with the hot dog. And as they're trying to say it is because um, a professor of environmental health sciences at University of Michigan is a co-author of the study, and he tells that inverse. Oh, well, this is already from me. He says the average hot dog has 61 grams of processed meat, which results in 27 minutes of healthy life lost due to the amount of processed meats alone. So that's what it's talking about. And it says when considering the other risk factors like sodium and trans fatty acids inside the hot dog, counterbalanced by the benefit of its polysaturated fats and fiber, we arrived at the final value of 36 minutes of healthy life lost per hot dog. Can you guys believe that? I mean, can y'all believe that? I mean, that's just like, I'm like, wow. So 36 minutes. So so the question is, can a hot dog shorten your life? So I got really curious to find out, you know, how that chart looks, and I went on the hunt for the chart, and and trying to find a whole list of comparable foods. So everything was just about, this food steals 36 minutes of your life, of your healthy life. Every time you eat it, you lose 36 minutes. But I was like, okay, if I lose 36 minutes, how can I gain those 36 minutes back? And so here's what it says. Um, So I was just going through the list. So hot dogs aren't the only food that can rob you of some of your healthy life. For example, every time you eat a serving of chicken wings, it can reduce your healthy lifespan by 3.3 minutes. I was like, wow, man, chicken wings are the only thing. I love me some chicken wings. But it says, by contrast, other foods actually add to your healthy lifespan, including salty peanuts. They boost your healthy lifespan by 26 minutes per serving. You know what? Let me turn that off. Um, Baked salmon will boost your healthy lifespan by 16 minutes. Rice with beans, 13 minutes. Apple pie, 1.3 minutes. Overall, switching 10% of your daily caloric intake from beef and processed meats to a mix of fruits and vegetables, nuts, legumes, and select seafood can help you gain an extra 48 healthy minutes each day. So, and it also reduces your carbon footprint by 1/3, the researchers say. So I was like all into this study at first. I was like, wow, this is really good. Until I found out what they were calculating this by. And so that last sentence that I said there, it also reduces your carbon footprint by 1/3, the researchers say. The fact that that is in the equation made me go, no, because it's based on it also includes the healthy, I'm sorry, it includes the carbon footprint in the calculations for determining how how foods actually shorten your life. So I was like all into it. I was like so excited. I mean, it was really exciting to read that and to know that. So just in case anybody went out there and they looked it up, but again, it was the one food that can take 36 minutes off your life each day. So I was like, oh yeah, this is going to help people to, if they know really what the foods are doing to them. But that was all good. A study from the University of Michigan suggests that was all good until I saw that that they were also counting the carbon footprint in there. So, salted peanuts, rice with beans, they add 10 to 15 minutes, which that was good. Peanut butter, but this is what threw me with this study. When they said the study suggests that eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches could add 33 minutes to your life. Do you guys know what threw me about that? You all know, right? You know what I'm gonna say threw me about that when they said that you could eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and it would add 33 minutes to your life, but you eat a hot dog and it takes 36 minutes. You know what threw me, right? Right? Oh, you guys don't know me yet? Okay. It's the fact that jelly is full of sugar. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You eat all that sugar and it's gonna add something to you. Okay, jelly is full of sugar, and then you have bread, which is a carb, which would, if it was white bread, it's carb, and this doesn't make a distinct, it doesn't distinguish between whether it's, if you eat whole wheat bread or if you eat white bread. It just says you eat bread. So there we go. We got carb on top of carb, which I'm like, nah, that's not working for me. And I mean, I hate to disagree with the scientists, or these scientists, um, but it was so then I was like, why are they saying that? And I went to look further, and that's when I saw the carbon footprint. So, so I had it all set up because I was like, I was gathering all the information and I was pulling it all in. I was like, oh, I got to share this with my people. But just in case somebody out there read that and you thought, um, eating a hot dog is shortening your life. I'm not telling you to go run and eat a hot dog, or to even throw all of this study out, because, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, is an old saying, you know, but, eating a lot of processed meats is not good for you, right? Um, eating a high fat, extremely high fat, especially all of the bad fats and all of that. That is not good for you. But to put a peanut butter and jelly sandwich over a hot dog, I mean, that to me, that threw me. Because I would put them in the same category together. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I would put them in the same category together. I would not put one over the other. I would not say that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is actual, well, the protein in it, but then the hot dog would have some protein, elements of protein as well, right? So I wouldn't put one over the other, but I just didn't like how that was like, hot dog um, takes away 36 minutes, and peanut butter and jelly gives you, 33 minutes, adds 33 minutes. Nah. The carbon footprint calculation is what is actually doing that. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? It's interesting, huh? But while we're talking about oils, and while we're, some segue here, just some information for you on some healthy oils that you can use in cooking, because I don't, and, and, and the reason why they say that the hot dogs, with all the processed meats and all of that, it adds inflammation into your body. And, the chicken wings, they talking about the chicken wings. Well, they didn't say baked chicken wings. And, I'm sure they mean fried chicken wings, hot wing, because, that's the thing, right? Hot wings. And that stuff that will be fried, right? And so when you fry that, when you fry in your foods, you want to make sure that you are using anti-inflammatory cooking oils, right? So, and you want to get the one that's going to be able to cook at the highest temperature, so it doesn't bring inflammation. And I'm not saying go run out and eat fried foods, but there are, omega-3 fatty acids that are good for our heart, but some of that is compromised, a lot when cooking. But let's just talk about, um, especially when you cook at the high temperatures. But let's just talk about, if you're going to cook with oil, which I know that we are, so let's try and get you something healthier when you're doing that. So olive oil is, it's a great everyday cooking oil, and it actually has a high smoke point, you know. And we can look up the smoke points of certain oils, or I would have brought that to you, um, but olive oil is high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for your heart health. And besides being full of these beneficial fats, it's also a good source of antioxidants. So both of these reasons is why it's been linked in countless scientific studies. Now, these are good scientific studies. Because I mean, the reason why I had a problem with that last one is just because they included, like I said, they included carbon footprint in the calculations, which I don't think that it should be in the calculation. But anyway, olive oil has scientific studies that have been shown to reduce inflammation. And so it's a great everyday cooking oil. Avocado oil. So we already know that avocados are nutrient rich, but those nutrients can be found in the oil. Similar to olive oil, avocado oil is high in unsaturated fats and it's linked to lowering inflammation as well. Walnut oil. So, scientific studies have found that consuming walnut oil regularly not only helps lower inflammation, but it also shown to keep blood sugar levels steady. And so, walnuts are super healthy and super good for you. So, it's nutrient rich oil, and it's the nut itself is especially good for your heart health, right? Right. All right. So, flaxseed oil. So, we know about flax seeds. But flaxseed oil, it makes the list of anti-inflammatory oils, and it's high in omega 3s, right? So flaxseed oil fibers and all of the flaxseed has potential health benefits and can help with the reduction of cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis, diabetes, cancer, arthritis, osteoporosis, and autoimmune and neurological disorders. So, flaxseed oil is really good. Now, pumpkin seed oil is a good one as well. So, scientific studies have linked regular consumption of pumpkin seed oil to lowering inflammation cause because it is high in unsaturated fats and antioxidants, and it's also been linked to helping prevent type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and certain types of cancer. So, cooking with an anti-inflammatory oil is, the perfect way to start your meal off with health benefits before you even start to incorporate any other foods. And so, with those oils, they all gonna work different in different dishes, and they have different profiles and smoke points and burning points. And so let's just see here. I have a chart of smoke points for oils, and let me grab that for you here and just tell you what the smoke points are. Most of the time, I think when you're deep frying foods, and not that I'm advocating, so please, please, please do not come for me in the comments. I'm just saying, I know what we do, right? And I'm not going to say, I can tell you all day, don't eat fried foods. But is that going to stop you? No. Can I help you do better with that? Yes. So that's what I'm trying to do. So let's look. The smoke point for avocado oil is 520 degrees Fahrenheit or 270 degrees Celsius. And I know most of the times on the deep fryer it is cooked, I think it's 360 is where you're trying to get your oil heated to, between 360 and 400. So as you can see, avocado oil is at 520 degrees Fahrenheit. What was the other oil that we said there? Let's see. Flaxseed oil. Flaxseed. It has a lower smoke point. It's at 225 degrees Fahrenheit and 107 degrees Celsius. Now, smoke point is at the point where it is going to start smoking, and pretty soon then it could catch fire from that point forward. Olive oil has a smoke point of 390 degrees to 470 degrees Fahrenheit or 199 to 243 degrees Celsius, and that's refined. If you're looking at virgin, it has 410 Fahrenheit and 210 Celsius. So, an extra virgin, and it goes on from, so extra virgin has a smoke point of 374 or 190 Celsius. And just depending on that particular oil, it could also go down to 320 as far as that goes. And let's go down the list. We had, oh, I don't see it on here. Why is it not on here? What was the other oil that we had? Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Oh, pumpkin seed and walnut are what's missing. So you pull that up. Pumpkin seed. So smoke point 4, we're going for pumpkin seed. Which I like pumpkin seed oil, and I use pumpkin seed oil regularly, but I don't use it. I don't use it for cooking, but I use it, and it has um, a mild nutty type flavor, but the smoke point on it is about 320 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the smoke point on that, and that's about 160 degrees Celsius. So that's the smoke point for pumpkin seed oil. And for walnut oil, um, let me bring it up. And walnut oil is about the same. They're, nut oil, seed oils. So it's about the same. 320 degrees Fahrenheit is the smoke point for that. So as you can see, avocado oil is the one with the highest smoke point, followed by olive oil with the highest smoke point. So when you're trying to find oils to use in your cooking, those are some great choices. Now, of course, you could do other things with your food. You don't have to use oil. If you're pan frying or sauteing, you can saute. I know that there are my people that are in the not the plant, is the whole foods plant-based community, that they don't fry their food, they don't use oil, so they saute in broths and things like that. And so I think they have much success with that, um, cooking their foods that way. But that's just so you know, that's a way to get some healthy oils into your diet. So and I just wanted to share that with you all, because as I'm telling you about that list, which I had, for the subject, and then it was like, no. I mean, you can take that with a grain of salt, you know. That particular study, I do find it interesting, like I said, and the reasons that they gave for that, and that's why I wanted to also add in, give you some healthy cooking oils to bring into the discussion as we were talking about fats in that particular discussion. Okay. All right. Well, again, check your pantries. Make sure you don't have any of that, or your refrigerators. Make sure you don't, or freezers. Make sure you don't have any of that product that was mentioned earlier that's in the recall in there. If you do, return it to the store, or maybe if you call the company, they'll give you a coupon to replace that. Okay, and that's it for today, folks. I am, you know, so glad that you tuned in and you joined me again. If you want to get a hold of the most spectacular sweetener that there is on the market, that is some sweet. You can go to SUMSWEET.com and you can get some sweet from there. Also, just want to let you know that you can catch this. You can get the rebroadcast of this on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms, as well as, if you want to go and catch the video again, you can always find it on on YouTube at SAIRNT. In fact, I invite you over there. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can always know when these lives are happening. So you can get notified as to when these lives are going on. Catch me here on Haps at SAIRNT, or on Facebook at SAIRNT, or Twitter at Some Sweet Foods, and Instagram at Some Sweet Foods, and again on Facebook at Some Sweet Foods. Yes. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And until next time, oh, forgot. Make sure 4 a day, right? 4 a day. Get your water in. Till next time. Peace and blessings. Bye bye.